Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Beyond the Score podcast presented by The Northerner. I'm your co-host, Matthew Supinger, joined once again by other co-host, Alex Perez. Alex, how are we doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing awesome. Third time is a charm. And speaking of the third time, Colton Smith, new director. How are we doing?
Yeah, it's been quite the day trying to get this show made, but outside of that, I think we have a great show planned as long as it all works out this time. We got NKU sports heating up, we got the NFL, big game tonight, and some college football, WNBA. I mean, it's gonna be a good show.
I mean, we never said that the director job was going to be easy. So
No.
Right.
we got to put some pressure on you. And
Right. Well, when I have this guy behind me, like that's the guy in front of me. It's a little. The look he gave me. It's a little. When you have to pick up after him, it's a little rough, but we do it.
Hey, we're going, and that's what matters.
We're here.
We're bringing you all content, and that's what matters.
Yep.
So kicking it off with some NKU women's soccer. Got their first win. They were able to knock off Mercyhurst at a game you all should have been at. And if you weren't, then just stop watching right now because I'm a little embarrassed for you all. 2-1 win against Mercyhurst this past Sunday. This upcoming Thursday, today actually, they play Eastern Kentucky and Ice Cream Social. Go to the game. On Sunday, they play Moorhead. And then next Thursday, they're playing Bellarmine here at home at 7. Alex, what did you see in the game against Mercyhurst that really stuck out to you?
I definitely think it was the offense. I know on the last episode we talked about them needing more aggressive offense because the defense has definitely been there. But they had 30 shot attempts, which is the second most in their Division I history. So I think they're on their way to being aggressive offensively like they need to be.
Yeah, it seems like it. I know we talked about last week about how, moving the ball down the field actually leads to a lot more success. And I think they picked up on that. Definitely not from us because we aren't coaches, but they picked up and they're killing it right now.
They might have watched the pod. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. I'm hoping so. That'd be pretty awesome. Kicking it over to men's soccer now. Had a tie with UAB this past Sunday, 1-1. They lost to Belmont last Thursday. However, this Sunday they play Western Illinois. It's an NFL day. Bengals gift basket bundle at 1 p.m. And then Saturday, the 14th, September 14th at 2 p.m., they're playing at Robert Morris. So if you aren't tuning into that one on ESPN Plus, then you probably should. If they're showing that on ESPN Plus,
for sure, yeah.
Tune into that. And just go to the games. But what did you see in that game against UAB that you felt stuck out to you? I mean, they're still looking for their first win.
Yeah.
Haven't found it yet, but it seems like maybe they're trending in the right-ish direction. They were able to get that goal in the second half.
Yeah, you saw the resilience there. They were down 1-0 at halftime. So they came back and put some theatrics into it for sure. Got the goal in the 85th minute. So they tried to get it all the way up to the end. But they got the goal and they tied it. So, again, I think this is the thing we mentioned with men's soccer as well, making sure there's enough shots on goal because the offense needs to be aggressive. The defense can always be there, but you're going to have these ties unless the offense is aggressive. And this is a step in the right direction for sure, but that's something they can still be working on.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just rattling off the schedule. Hopefully they can pick it up against Western Illinois and get the season going in the right direction. At least get a win under your belt.
For sure.
Transitioning now to track, the Queen City Invitational was this past weekend, I believe. Mm-hmm. And the Norse really killed it. The men finished first with 100, or not 100. Hold on. Finished first with 32 points. The women finished first with 25 points. They were absolutely setting records. We had, I'm probably going to pronounce your name wrong, so I apologize. Nael Weldemichael, he, in the men's race, nearly 22-second difference than the next closest student athlete, which I don't know if you guys know that. That's really, really good. That is phenomenal. It was the fastest mark, 14:59. Fastest mark at the event since 2013. And it made it 4 straight Queen City Invitational individual titles for the NKU men. What did you see from that event besides the ridiculous finish by him that stuck out to you?
I was going to say, you mean the Katie Ledecky Olympic-style finish?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, that's what it was.
Being so far in front of people. But I'm just noticing, how consistent this team is. The men had 4 in the top 10, And then I guess we could move on to the women and say they had 5 in the top 10. So both sides had a very good performance.
One open.
And talking about the women's side of the Queen Invitational, Grace Biddle won for the women. So we got championships individually and as a team. So you can't ask for a better outing than what the track team had.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Building off that, Grace Biddle, that's back-to-back for her at the Queen City. So big time for her. Congratulations to them. Keep putting up the ridiculous numbers because we know that they very much can do that. Women's volleyball. This is actually going to need to start establishing women's volleyball going into next year after men's volleyball ends up arriving. But women's volleyball went down to Lexington, Kentucky this past weekend for the Bluegrass Battle. Went 1-2, played a really, really tough Kentucky team, lost 3-0. A tough Western Kentucky team, lost 3-0, and knocked off Morehead State 3-1. What did you see in those games? I mean, it really seems like this multi-dimensional team that Liz was talking about just a couple weeks ago with us is going to be able to start kind of showing their true colors as they will play Missouri tomorrow, actually, and then South Dakota on Saturday, and then Louisville on Sunday. What did you see in that game, though, that really proved her point of everybody can do anything?
Yeah, like she was talking about, this is about getting experience and just getting those reps in. And the freshmen I was very impressed with. Mm-hmm. They definitely made a name for themselves. Allison Risley in the first game led NKU in kills and aces. And then Lainey Green led the team in assists in the game against UK. And then moving on to the game against WKU, the first 2 sets were both competitive. And then Lucy Cluxton, not a freshman, a very experienced player on the team, 19 digs. So she was pretty much everywhere. And then what we definitely like to see in their first one this season against Morehead was a pretty dominant team performance.
Yeah.
It was Tori Houston, Joy Banks, Lainey Green, and Lucy all registered double-doubles. So this is definitely the step in the right direction and really what we're expecting from this team, especially as we move to conference play and things coming up shortly.
Absolutely. Dare I say, Lucy Cluxton, she was digging it.
That's good. Yeah.
There we go. You guys, I know that's why you tune in. You tune in for the puns every week, and that's what we provide. So big week, for NKU sports, getting big wins. Tune in over the weekend. There's even bigger games over the weekend. Moving.
Like to add something to that?
Yes.
Louisville is currently the number 4 team in the country as well. They play them Sunday. So just to add a little bit more to an already big in-state, not rival, but also a fun thing I found out because I was doing the Excel sheets for ESPN Plus is that we actually lead the all-time series against Louisville.
Wow.
According to our website, maybe there's some, but we played we lead it 12-9. We won the first 12 matches, and they have since won the last 9 matches. So I'm excited for that Louisville game.
Little brothers all the time. Little
Forever.
brothers and sisters all the time. So big week for NKU. Big week coming up too. Moving to the NFL, got some big deals out at the Bay. Mm-hmm. Trent Williams ends his holdout. We were talking about that before. Brandon Ayuk signs the extension. Start with Trent Williams. He reached an $82.6 million deal with the Niners, returning from the holdout. He said the reason he returned from that holdout was because Ricky Pearsall, I don't know if you guys know, rookie for the Niners, got drafted out of Florida, wide receiver. He was recently involved in a shooting. He was shot. I think he's doing fine. I think he walked away from the scene and stuff. So he's doing a lot better and stuff like that. But that was Trent's reason why he returned from the holdout, was because of Pearsall being shot. But big deal for probably the best tackle in the league, if not one of the best tackles.
Oh, for sure. Especially a team that is run heavy where their best player is their running back. That run game is so important.
Yeah.
So establishing that cornerstone on that line is a big deal. So I'm sure they are very glad they got this deal done.
Yeah, we'll get to see more NFL highlights of Trent Williams just making grown men look like little kids, which always makes me very happy to see. I think it's hilarious. And the probably the deal that everybody's been waiting for the entire offseason, because that feels like how long Brandon Ayuk has kind of dragged this along. Even he admitted that towards the end of it, he was just kind of dragging it along. He finally signs his deal, a huge deal for him. I believe it was 4-year, $120 million extension.
That's right.
And so he is locked down as a Niner. And as far as I know, everybody I've talked to about that deal, they seem to be happy that he's going to stay in San Francisco. I can't think of anyone that would be too upset that he's going to be there. Colton, do you know of anyone that might be upset about that?
I'm not sure. I think everyone's pretty happy about it. I can't really think of anybody that could have any ill will towards Brandon Ayuk and, waiting so long, giving hope to any fan bases or anything. We even, talked about it on this. We never talked about it on the show. Like he was apparently a done deal. So yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Alex, what do you think about this deal?
I would like to say I'm so happy for Brandon Ayuk. Go get your money. Ian Rappaport, you're my biggest enemy. And this is just so great, honestly. It gives the Steelers an opportunity to build character on the team. Because now, wide receiver 2 has to be Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson, or Scotty Miller.
Who?
And as I've said on multiple occasions, I'm very excited for this wide receiver core. I cannot wait to see how they underperform.
I mean, I can't even think of where Ayuk would fit into that wide receiver core. That's stacked.
Yeah, for sure.
It's unreal. I mean, I can't even count. I can't count on two hands how many times I've been like, we got to go against Scotty Miller and Van Jefferson.
If they don't all make the Pro Bowl, I'm talking to Goodell.
Yeah, that might be a big problem. So yeah, the huge deal for Brandon Ayuk. I know zero people are surprised that he ended up getting signed. So yeah, moving over from the NFL, we obviously got big games tonight. We talked about that last week.
Yeah.
Big game between the Ravens and the Chiefs tonight, and then tomorrow night, big game between the Eagles and the Packers down in Brazil. Should be very fun ones to watch. Moving forward now to, oh wait, never mind. No, what am I doing? Totally skipping through the rundown here.
It's all right.
Teams that are a lock for a Week 1 win. Who are name one or two that you think are a lock for a Week 1 win?
I like all the games this week, honestly, besides the one that's my lock. And you all be very happy to hear that it is the Bengals that I think is the lock for Week 1. Jacoby Brissett, I feel like, should not be starting this game. But
Household name.
I think you all will still have problems with the rush defense, so Stevenson may run a little wild, but I think they'll be one-dimensional because of the lack of a passing attack. So you all will be able to hold him and then score all the points that you all normally do, because we know defense wins championships, but offense wins regular season games.
Okay.
And you all
right.
have a lot more of that here.
Okay.
Who do you have for your lock?
I got the same one. I am jinxing it hard. Here we go. Knock on wood. Knock on wood, because I don't really trust the Bengals a whole lot in Week 1 games, or Week 1 through 4. But I think it's going to be. I think we should be able to take that one. Healthy Joe coming back. Jamar hopefully actually coming back and not just saying he will and then not, or Zach Taylor saying he will and then he doesn't. But I'm really excited to watch the Bengals. Obviously, you got a whole new run game coming in. It's not well, we have Joe Mixon, so we have to use Joe Mixon. Mm-hmm. It's completely, new faces for the most part. Brand new offensive coordinator that I think will probably put the ball in Joe's hands a lot more than Brian Callahan did. So that's my lock for a Week 1 win, but that's bias. I could just be biased saying that. My other lock is a really tough one, because this is I feel like a pretty good Week 1 schedule. I think I'm gonna have to go the Dolphins. I know that might be a hot one over the Jaguars. I don't know if that's gonna be widely agreed with, but I'm not a huge Trevor Lawrence believer. Clip this one when Trevor Lawrence goes for 450 and 6 touchdowns. But I'm not a huge Trevor Lawrence believer. I know they did add Brian Thomas, and I know ETN, had a really good season last year, primed for another good one this year. But I don't know. I believe in the Dolphins more than I do the Jaguars. I don't know if I'd say it's a lock,
Yeah.
but besides Bengals, that's the lock that I would go with.
I mean, like I said, offense wins regular season games, and that's what they have. I mean,
They definitely do. Yeah.
Jags have Gabe Davis now, so that's a little more of a threat. But I respect it.
Yeah. Household name Gabe Davis. I know everybody probably owns one of those jerseys. Colton, what's your lock for a Week 1 win?
I like the Dolphins pick. I would add that their defense is a little better than last year.
That's fair.
But I said this. We did a NFL Week 1 picks for our show, and I think the Niners are unequivocally a lock to beat the Jets. I'm not high on the Jets team whatsoever. I never have been, never will be. It's not even that I don't like the players. It's just like a bunch of players who I feel are, if they stay healthy, this team will be good, but they haven't stayed healthy in like years upon years. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if they go in there and pull it off somehow, I guess I wouldn't be shocked, but I'm pretty convinced the Niners will go in Week 1 and get that win pretty easily.
Yeah, I like that one. I think that's a good one, especially with Nick Bosa. It's an election year, so you got to watch out for him.
Yeah. I want to throw a question to you guys, though. So outside of your favorite team, seeing them back on the field, what are some games you guys are looking forward to here in Week 1? Of course, we're happy to see football tonight, so I would maybe even disqualify that one. But, yeah, what are you guys looking forward to?
I will say there's a couple teams. The Bears, I'm excited to see what they look like because on paper, that offense looks like it should be pretty good. Mm-hmm. You're bringing in a Heisman-winning quarterback who has shown his ability to be creative in the offense and move around. And then you're bringing in one of the best pass catchers in college football this past year, played in a national title game, Rome Odunze, bringing in Keenan Allen, who is arguably a Hall of Famer, bringing in one of the better young receivers in the game, DJ Moore. Not bringing in, he's been there. And it's kind of like you're adding pieces all around the team. Cole Kmet's a good tight end. Their defense gets beefed up a little bit more. They pay Jalen Johnson. He's coming back. I'm really excited to see them. More specifically, their offense, but I'm excited to just see them as a team. Also, the Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray is going to. I don't want to be like, oh, he's gonna be back on a vengeance, but I think Kyler Murray gets slept on.
Josh is over here shouting "toddler" behind me.
All right.
You can't hear him because he's in a chamber, but he does not agree with that. But
he's calling Kyler Murray a toddler. He's in the corner.
Exactly. But yeah, somebody drafted Kyler Murray as currently my QB1. I also got 2 of those. So
yeah.
But yes, I very much love that take.
I think Kyler Murray has almost grown to be like underrated. I think he's very talented. I think his arm strength is kind of ridiculous. And then you're bringing in the best pass catcher from college football the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. And even though the rest of that wide receiver core sucks, I still think it's going to be fun to see how that goes, especially with the Bills being like a completely different team this year than they were last year.
But for me, since I can't pick tomorrow's game, I will go with Houston and Indianapolis, I should say. I cannot wait to see how this Houston offense gels, to see if they're already in midseason form or what. They didn't add too many new pieces, I guess. Let's see how that offense is and to see if the defense got any better, honestly, because that was a weak spot at times in last season. And then just for the Colts, just seeing how Anthony Richardson is, or if he's able to come back and how he's playing, if he's at 100% or not.
Yeah.
I'm just really interested to see that. So I think that would be my Week 1 game that I'm most looking forward to.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Another notable one, just looking at it. I don't care as much about this one, but it might be interesting. Broncos Seahawks. Bo Nix's 400th career start, I believe, in football. And first NFL start. I can't remember the stat, but it was like Sean Payton's first Week 1 start with a rookie quarterback and like ever, or like the second one ever, or something like that. Something crazy.
He still gets counted as a rookie? Anyways.
It's his first year in the NFL, but yeah, he's been around football for 30 or 40 years, something like that. But I think that might be a fun one to watch, see how he fares against the Seahawks defense that is hopefully a little bit better than it was last year.
I have one I'd like to add.
Yes.
I'm surprised neither one of you said this one, but I mean, we have the revenge, the rematch between the Rams and the Lions. I mean, that's a big game.
That's a good
big
one.
I'm very high on the Rams. I'm very high on the Lions. I think they both could end up representing the NFC in a world. So I think that'll be a big one, Goff versus Stafford.
Yeah, that is. I totally forgot about that one. That will be a very fun one. See how Kyron Williams fields punts. Yikes. So yeah, moving on from the NFL to some college football talk. I'm gonna recap some of the Week 1 games, specifically the ones that we probably all watched.
Yeah.
How did UK fare? I saw that game was delayed heavily.
The game only took 5 hours, like normal football games.
Yeah.
And it only lasted till the third quarter, like normal football games.
Duh.
But Kentucky looked very good.
Yeah.
They won 31-0. They called the game, but I don't think Southern Miss was coming back, so I think we can formally call that a win. Brock Vandegrift didn't disappoint in his debut, 3 touchdowns, and was pretty much running through everyone that got in his way. Will Levis type running, and then so I'm just hoping like Vandegrift can supplement the run game because it's running by committee right now with train him out. He's going to be out probably the first 4 weeks, so hoping he can help in that area.
Yeah.
But my biggest takeaway is I hope I never have to sit through a lightning delay game like that again, honestly.
You didn't have a good time?
I did once they kicked off, and then after we had another one, I was like, okay, it's about bedtime now.
Yeah.
How about you?
I don't know. Ohio State did what Ohio State did. It's not a whole lot to be like, well, they did look good. But Will Howard, I think, was more impressive than I think people were expecting. He had a rough start. I think he started like 1 for 7 or 1 for 8. That probably wasn't that bad, but I know it was pretty bad. And finished 17 for 28, 228, and 3 touchdowns. That probably wasn't even the biggest storyline. And Jeremiah Smith in his first career game as a Buckeye had 6 catches for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. Carnell Tate had a few receptions over 50 yards. Emeka Ibuka had 4 for 51. I mean, the offense just looked like the offense that they expected. The defense especially was insane. Lathan Ransom had a great game. Mm-hmm. Recovered a fumble, had a touchdown as well. We're a defensive touchdown score, so that's awesome. But yeah, the team just looked like as advertised. I think some people are like, you gave up 6 points to Akron, and this is the team that's supposed to be the best in college. Come on.
I mean, the only one of our teams that gave up any points, but who's counting?
Yeah, that's true. Who's
counting? But I do have a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
First off, who do you think LeBron was torn on who to cheer for in this game? I mean, Ohio State, Akron.
You think
gotta
the
be
game
right.
was going on? Because I mean,
I'm sure he tweeted about it.
I've seen his NFL coverage.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I love my tight ends. What does that say? Yeah, I love George Kittle.
Dude's a journalist.
To say the least, yeah.
And my second question is, who do you, or if you had to pick, who would you say is running back 1, Henderson or Judkins?
I think Judkins just because of what he did last year. I think after week 1 it's kind of tough to tell, but Judkins based off what he did last year and the past 2 years, he's just like he is the best running back in the nation. Mm-hmm. So I would say he's running back 1, but I honestly wouldn't even say it's like 1 and 2. I'd say it's like 1A, 1B. Because Travion Henderson last year was still, he was a tank. And it was like he'd have games where the passing game could not go at all. And it was just everything was going through Travion Henderson. So I would say Judkins, but it's next week I could be like, well, I don't know. It's probably Henderson.
It's close for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely not Will Howard, though.
So, Colton, I'm pretty sure you were coaching because Purdue had quite the game. Can you run us through that?
I cannot confirm nor deny whether I was coach or not, but what I can confirm is that we did, in fact, win in a fashion by which, if I was coaching, we would win. And 48-0, I believe, was the score. And, you could tell the decision-making was very much like me on college football, as Hudson Card broke the FBS single-game record for highest completion percentage, minimum 20 completions, 96% completion percentage, 24 of 25, 273 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And, boys, I would like to add that the last time Purdue not only beat what's the team's name? Indiana State, I guess. Whoever they are, that doesn't matter. Last time they shut out Indiana State. Yeah, they had Larry Bird at QB. Anyways, the last time they shut out Indiana State, we made the Big Ten championship. So now that the bar is set of where we will be at the end of the year, we can just move forward.
Big things are coming.
Yeah. Quick question for you. If you were coaching that team, would there have been an incompletion?
No.
Okay.
No, of course not. It would,
So-
100%. You can ask
guess you
Josh
would.
back there. Like, I don't make mistakes.
But still, more touchdowns than incompletions. I think that's a pretty good game.
That's a pretty good game.
I haven't been watching football long, but I think that's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
And Colton, would you say you were more impressed with the defense or the offense?
I would say I definitely saw improvement on the defense from last year, because last year was essentially a revolving door. But also the offense, the consistency out of Card. I mean, I'll just be completely honest here. I would take this game with a grain of salt. It is Indiana State. But if there's one thing to take out of it is that Card is going to be getting those completions, and he's was he in his fourth or he might be in his fifth year already. I don't know, but he's going to show like what he showed over there in Texas to get him there, and I'm excited to see where this goes for us.
Yeah, no surprise here. Indiana State did not put up great numbers. 50 passing yards.
I would also like to add that Indiana State's defense was terrible.
And
I'll just be honest. There was a literal play where it was just like you were on rookie mode and the wide receiver was just wide. Like I could have made the pass. Josh could have made the pass. Kyler Murray could have made the pass. Everyone could have made the pass.
Only one third down conversion for the Sycamores. It was a tough game for them, to say the least.
Well, when you have Larry Bird at quarterback,
it's got a bad back. You know how it is.
Larry Bird now at quarterback.
They had to literally bring him out of retirement to play football. But it happens.
Yeah, quite a week one. A lot of offense just around college football in general. I mean, that's how college football usually is, but especially a lot of offense. I saw, 6 SEC teams scored like over 40 or something like that, or over 30. It was a ridiculous amount of points. But yeah, biggest surprises from week one for you guys. What stuck out the most?
I'd say for me, it's an SEC team, Vanderbilt, who was at the bottom of the conference last year. Only had 2 wins altogether and already has their first one in week one. So against the Virginia Tech team that was slated by some to be at the top of the ACC standings.
Yeah.
So it was a very impressive win. It may have been a little less impressive by the end because they kind of let Virginia Tech get back in the game, had to go to overtime, but it is still Vanderbilt. But I think they could be a problem in the SEC just to scare a couple teams, honestly.
That's fair. I do want to say, too, a team that did not win, Texas A&M, who's not that good at football.
Right.
I was recently talking to a source, won't say their name. You might know who he is. He used to do a podcast, something like that. Big Notre Dame fan. And he was saying that this is a different Notre Dame team. So I just want to put that in everyone's minds that the source said this is a different Notre Dame team because they beat Texas A&M. We'll see.
Wow,
that's different.
That's a claim. That's a claim because
that is one of the takes all time.
That's one of the claims of all time. That Notre Dame team. I mean, they look better, I suppose.
Yeah,
they look better than Texas A&M.
We'll see when they finish. I don't know, like 9-2, something like that.
Who they play this week? They play somebody good, don't they?
I can't think who they play.
Josh is telling me no, so apparently it's not somebody good.
Oh, okay. Well,
so it doesn't matter.
Notre Dame not playing someone good?
What?
They would
what they
never.
just did
They
with
would
That's
never
so
take
not
advantage
like
of being
them.
independent. Oh, where's Josh? Where's Josh go?
Oh, he's seen enough.
Northern Illinois.
Northern
Oh,
Illinois.
come on.
They only play one ranked team the rest of the year. It's USC.
Only one ranked team the rest of the year, and it's USC. That's a good segue, though, Josh, because the team I was going to bring up was USC.
Oh.
So that's a perfect segue. I liked what I saw. Garrett's giving me the death stare, the LSU 1,000-yard stare. But I thought LSU looked good, but I thought USC also looked really good because the main issue last year was their defense. If they have defense, they're probably a playoff team last year.
Yeah.
And with that new UCLA defensive coordinator, I liked what I saw from that defense for sure. And Moss, I can't think of his first name, but Moss looked really good behind the pocket. It was a QB duel for sure. LSU's quarterback looked good as well. I know his first name's Garrett because
Nussmeier?
Nussmeier. Yeah, Nussmeier.
Nussmeier.
Yeah, like they both looked like great QBs. Moss looked legit though. Very composed throughout the game and very chill. So I like USC. So that'll be a good matchup. Notre Dame. We'll see if that unnamed source Notre Dame fan will be saying that after the USC game.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, Caleb Williams has to be fuming watching this USC defense.
I saw a video where somebody posted this guy kicking through his TV, and they were saying this is Caleb Williams after watching that USC defense.
And-
You can go on.
All right, I just wanted to make sure we hit the biggest surprise in the ACC, which is Florida State.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
DJ, it's time for ZipRecruiter.
Yeah. Oh, you can keep talking. I got
What's
something.
What's
Got
his
something I
last
gotta
name,
pull up.
Alex?
Ukulele or something like that.
I was going to say you need to get a job, but ukulele maybe that's what he needs to play. Maybe that'll give him some attributes.
LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Glassdoor. I think all these are options for you.
Yeah, I don't know if people will be able to see this one, but this one I saw today. I thought it was kind of funny. Committed to McDonald's, so yeah, big announcement for DJU. He's headed to Don's. He's gonna be taking over on the grills. So super big ups to him. I hope he enjoys his career at some local car sales place. I don't know. I would say my biggest surprise though was Oregon. Very hyped up over the off season, and they kind of looked a little dull. I mean, they got the win, but I think a lot of people were surprised with how the fashion it was in. It wasn't like it was they scored 21 in the first quarter and then just went silent the rest of the game. It was it's a pretty quiet game for most of the time. They just happened to get things falling in the right way near the end of the game. So I'm not saying they're going to be done for the rest of the year, but it will be interesting to see how they come back from that, because this is a team that was expected to win the title this year. That has been talked about as winning the title. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, scoring is Oregon's thing, so if that's not there, might be a long season.
Yeah, it might be quite a long season, especially when you put a lot of NIL money into your receiving and quarterback room.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who would ever pick Oregon to win a championship or anything. That's just crazy. That's
I'm starting to
casual behavior,
Did you happen to do that?
I may or may not have done that because I like their jerseys.
Oh,
That's tough.
man, that is a crazy reason to do that.
There's a little bit more. I
Like
will
March
say,
Madness picked because of the logos.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think this mascot would beat that one in a fight.
I will say that there is something to be said about week one. You're playing Idaho. I've been in those situations before where you're playing a dud to start
This
the
guy
season, and I'm just like, I'm not really trying, and next thing you know, you lose to UMass or something. I would never lose to UMass or anything. Didn't do that last night as Liberty, but anywho, there's something to be said about that. I don't know though. I'm a little all right.
They
back
can't
to you
all be
guys.
Purdue. They can't all be Purdue.
They can't all be
Yeah,
Purdue.
exactly.
They
There's-
can't all be Purdue.
There's some
That's-
dynasties you just can't copy.
Exactly.
Moving on to our last topic before we get to post-game presser. Caitlin Clark has maybe won the Rookie of the Year after the month she's had. I was going to say the last week, the
Yeah.
month she's had. Had a triple-double last night. She had, 25 and 12, 31 and 12 the other night, something. Went into Chicago, and she walked into their trap in took over their trap.
That's right.
Some may say. So yeah, she. What I mean, what have you seen? I know you've been keeping up with the games. So I've heard. I've been checking Instagram and Twitter.
First off, the Fever altogether are 7-1 since the Olympic break.
Yeah.
Pretty great. They're number 1 in offense since August 1st, and firmly in the 6th seed after starting 1-8. So quite a turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
But the main reason we all know is Caitlin Clark, who did have the first triple-double for a rookie and now has the second. She was also Player of the Month, first rookie ever to do that. Most double-doubles for a guard in a season ever. That's everybody, not just rookies.
Yeah.
Quickest player ever to 100 three-pointers made. And she is tied now for the most 25 in 5 games. So we gave the laundry list of accolades that she already has, and this is just something that she's added in like the last week and a half. So she continues to impress, and I think the Rookie of the Year contest was over a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you there. I think it's honestly crazy. It's like sometimes I'd be scrolling Instagram and I'd be like, oh man, that's a crazy stat line. But I feel like I saw that the other day. And I'm like, oh, nope, it's from today. That is from just a couple hours ago. She's just that good. So yeah, I think I agree. I think Rookie of the Year is over with. It was cool. It was a good race while it lasted. I feel like it was there was a point there where it was kind of like, oh, I don't know, I could maybe see this swinging Angels way. And then it was very quickly that was shut down. So yeah, big stuff happening in the WNBA. Make sure you tune into that. Playoffs start when?
In what is today's date?
Today is the 5th.
In just about 2 weeks.
Yep.
Around
so get ready
September
for that.
20th.
I'm sure we'll be talking about that anyways when it gets closer. So
for sure.
Yeah. So
Alex, do you
on.
think the Fever have a chance to make a run in the playoffs?
I think they have a chance to get to the second round, but
Okay.
I don't think they have the pieces just yet to make a true run in the playoffs.
Gotcha. Is there a team that maybe they could face in that second round that would be favorable to them, or you think it's just maybe get that first round win?
I mean, as long as they don't have to play the Aces or the Liberty,
Yeah, for sure.
there's always a chance there, but Minnesota's a bad matchup for them because they shoot so many threes. Connecticut is who I'm hoping they get in the first round because I just feel like that's the best.
That's who they
matchup
started
they
this
can
season
have.
against, right?
They started the season against the Liberty
Oh,
and got
that was the first
got
game I think I
torched.
saw.
Yeah.
Me and Matt were there. It's not. Yeah, it wasn't fun.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Connecticut would be the most favorable matchup in the first round. Is Caitlin Clark could get to the rim pretty much whenever she wanted to against
Gotcha.
that Paint defense.
I'd be excited to see that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll make it to a game.
Gotta hope so.
Yeah, we got Josh here. He's another person that would be in that conversation.
For
so
sure.
maybe we have that conversation after the show.
Northern all expenses paid trip to the
Of course,
That's right.
playoffs.
live from it's
Yeah.
not Bankers Life Fieldhouse anymore. It's
Gamebridge.
Gamebridge now.
Yeah. So yeah, wrapping it up with everyone today. Your favorite segment on all of the internet, post game presser. Alex, you want to start yours, or you want me to start mine?
We'll let you go first.
Okay.
I've been waiting to see this.
So I texted Alex last night, and I said, "Hey, what are we doing for post game presser? Are we doing like a sports thing, or like a cool highlight, or are we doing something that we find funny? Because you never know what it's going to be, guys. We got to keep you on your toes."
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Oh, I picked something sports related." I was like, "Okay." So I was scrolling through, Instagram and stuff that I'd liked, and I came across this clip, and I was like, I forgot I liked this. So it is a little bit of sports, a little bit of something a little funny. Let's check it out. A little bit of getting cooked cartoon style, they might say. There were a couple comments about that being a cartoon crossover. So, that was my clip. I thought that was kind of funny. It made me laugh a lot harder when I first saw it because he looked like a flamingo. But yeah, that's my highlight of the week.
I have to leave the gym if I get crossed over like that. Like, it's not.
You can't ever wear those basketball shoes and go to a gym ever again.
You shouldn't play basketball ever again. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that dude was fit to be playing basketball. It doesn't look like that was his main sport.
But for my post-game presser, Garrett, look away. It is
Oh.
LSU versus USC. And USC wide receiver Kyron Hudson makes an amazing one-handed catch. I mean, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
One-handed. Snatched that ball like it owed him money.
We got OBJ. OBJ school got OBJ.
Gary, you should get this on your wall.
Is there a better
tattoo.
is there a better highlight than a one-handed catch?
I mean, get it tattooed, honestly. I don't even
They've never seen it. You should read
Garrett says, and you heard it here first, folks, they will get him back next year.
There's always next year.
mark that one on your calendars, everyone. That was a good one. That was such a fun game to watch. And then Brian Kelly's little temper tantrum afterwards.
Yeah.
that was pretty funny too. So yeah, did you have any closing remarks you want to make or anything like that?
I don't think so. How about you?
Colton, let me check with you real quick. Did you happen to have
Yes,
any
of course.
closing remarks? Do you want to go first or you want me to?
You go first,
Okay.
and I'll know the feel when to let mine out.
Okay. So yeah, this past week, you all were fighting, getting through the week, working hard, I'm sure. I mean, everybody's working hard every single day. But something that I want you all to listen to get you to the next week. Redwoods are known as the strongest, tallest trees in the world. There is always an opportunity that the world presents to you in which it rains down upon you with pain and toughness. You may be just a little sprout now, but you need to build to be a big, beautiful, strong redwood tree. Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Larry Sanders.
And that will do it for the Beyond the Score podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BT_the_word_score. Thanks to NKU Media Services for allowing us to use this studio. And for myself, Alex Perez, Matt Supinger, and director Colton Smith, we thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one.